right. Oh, shit. Wine.
I'm hiding the wine.
Let's see where you're hiding spots.
Nope. No, you don't. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
I don't have any wine.
Yeah, they're
No.
at your feet.
No, I don't.
Come on.
I don't have your wine. I have my wine.
Don't be so stingy. Shit. Could you pour it?
Oh my god. This is not part of my Miss Andre.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get everything else set up. Next time I won't inconvenience your Miss Andre.
Preach. Now I'm gonna have to open another bottle. This is only my first glass. Ugh. Life is hard. What was I I was gonna pull up the Diamond Club chat.
Pat, can you talk?
Talking. This is me talking about being tired of putting up with all your shit. Because you're actually being really counterproductive to my Miss Andre right now, and I don't appreciate. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. That's way too hot. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. All right, you talk.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check, chickadee, check. Check, check, check. I sound hot. Is that just it
No,
feeding back
that's-
to me
yeah.
through the thing?
Yeah, check, check,
So
check.
this is a good level?
Yeah, if I
Okay.
talk back to you, the waveforms look pretty good. I'm naturally louder. Let me. Oh, shit.
Update. Ooh, that was a little hot right here. Right here is too hot.
Well, you can't talk right into it because that one's very
Like this? Like this?
Yeah, that's not good. You're blowing everybody out.
Sorry, guys. I'm a bad person.
Can we scoot this closer?
Well, yeah.
Can we get your makeup off
Relax.
the table?
It's not makeup.
What is it?
It's hair stuff.
It's texture styling balm.
Yeah. Also, it's been there for weeks and you haven't said anything.
I mean, all right.
Which makes it okay.
Is it? All right.
Oh my god.
Oh my darling. All right. I think we're ready.
Yeah, I guess I already tweeted. I humiliated your mother on Facebook.
Boom, in your face glow.
Boo, suck it,
Mother
Chloe.
Days is over, motherfucker.
Yeah. That was yesterday.
Yeah, fucking.
case
You
you
better
were-
hope you got your shit in, lady.
Yep.
'Cause fucking your reign of terror is over.
I hope we're recording for that. All right, we ready to rock?
I hope people think that I have an adversarial relationship with my mom, just so they don't realize what a big fucking mama's boy I am.
It's huge.
Oh.
Did you record already, or do you want to reset that?
No.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Jurymore podcast, the podcast where we're getting married.
Yeah. It
4
gets
months.
ever more truer every time that we do the show.
Just a step closer.
Like a boat heading to the waterfall.
Boy.
Ahoy.
Oh my goodness. It is becoming more and more real every day. All right. Wrong
Here
cut. Wrong
comes the
podcast.
bride, well dressed in white.
That's like drunk jury on the stand.
Not captain.
No,
I guess it does blur together after a certain point.
I mean, after enough. It is becoming increasingly real though, and it's terrifying. It's getting more and more terrifying every day, and yeah, hanging in there.
Here's the deal. Carl says, "Where's the elopometer status?" I'm gonna go ahead and start things off and say, the elopometer I feel like is lower this week than it was last week because I feel like we got a little bit of the wind in our face. We got a little momentum.
Yeah.
You know?
Feels good.
We're doing all right. You want to know what? In fact, we have so much to do. Let's get right into it. Update.
Holy shit, we got so much shit done this week.
You know what's amazing? If you're actually in town, you can get a lot done.
Yeah.
When you're not in Tampa, Eden,
Where's Eden
Texas,
again?
North Carolina.
Like the Garden? Oh, different place.
Yeah. It turns out you can do a lot.
Well, and it's a good thing. Like, you're done traveling to the wedding, right? We're good. We're good. We'll knock this out in like 2 weeks.
Oh, no. No. No, I'm traveling a lot. Although the next time that we're traveling, we'll be doing it together. Or sorry, by next time, I mean the next weekend that I'm gone.
Do you know what day of the week is it?
It's Monday night, 1972.
No.
No, all right. So I'm going to be gone on and off for the next couple weeks, but we are going to have a nice little romantic weekend.
Oh.
Right?
I mean, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it should be fun. We're going to...
No, that's not to say that we can't ruin a romantic weekend.
Yeah.
Like, we could do that, but I don't think we will.
I'm really good at ruining things.
I think we're going to have a nice time.
This is rewarding ourselves for doing so well at getting so much wedding stuff.
However, let's go ahead and detail what exactly we did.
Oh, my goodness. So, we kind of, hitting the 4-month mark.
Yeah.
Realized we have to get our shit together. Me more so than you. But one of the things that you really took initiative on was finally getting the fucking groomsmen's suits. And I say you took the initiative on because you delegated.
That's the end of the sentence. I took initiative. Yay me. Moving on.
Go jury.
Moving on.
And give it to no. Stop. Back it up.
All right.
But you delegated to your brother.
Yeah.
Who took it on and
he did.
Was super awesome. Like, he took over the entire task.
Yeah, I was on the phone with him and he's like, dude, and again, he's just gotten married last year, so he knows that the struggle is real, and was like, dude, just delegate it to your bro. And man, him and Carolyn totally tackled it. They found some great suits, and
however,
there was a bit of a panic.
So, do you guys remember? Somebody can probably tell us fucking the episode.
Yeah.
We had discussions about what colors things were, what our gang colors were for the wedding.
Yeah.
And of course, it was,
I mean, I'm wearing navy, you're wearing white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And the bridesmaids are wearing navy. And the groomsmen...
You were just getting the bridesmaids' dresses, so I don't think that was set in stone.
No, somebody's going to remember. The chat realm remembers. But you told him the wrong color.
I told him gray.
Which is definitely not navy blue. That is a very Those are two very distinctly different colors.
I mean, yes. All right, so I forgot that we had decided on it. I made an executive decision at the San Francisco International Airport while I was on the phone with Eric to say, like, well, you want to know what? We got navy blue suit, my navy blue suit. Mm-hmm. I knew that you had picked navy blue as the as your bridesmaid's dresses. So I'm like, well, what's a good accenting color that wouldn't necessarily be the same thing and it would also kind of play off your white dress, you know, but it wouldn't be white. You know, I'm not going to have the groomsmen in white. And so I thought that the way to go was going to be to do it in gray, and that was not what we agreed upon. It violated a whole bunch of elements that we had kind of come up with.
And I lost my shit. Because
you
I'm
lost
like,
your shit. Yeah.
We were sitting down. Were we at the wine bar at this point?
No,
or was
we
it
were
before?
about to go to brunch.
We were about to go to brunch, and
Yeah.
we were like so productive, and I was so excited. And then, you know, you're like, oh yeah, let's look at these suits, but none of them were the right color, and I lost it because I'm like,
I was really like pumped to show off that I had done something because
Yeah.
I've done precious little for this wedding. So I was like, oh, look, like I did something. By I did something, I mean my brother did something. And you were like, oh, these look great. Like, why are they all not, I guess, like you can just get them in navy? And I'm like, but you know, gray, maybe. And you were like, dude.
we decided this a million years ago.
Fucking, come on, asshole. And I was like, well, all right.
But it was solved like 5 minutes later. To be fair, like
yeah.
it's taken care of now. The Navy, your brother ordered the Navy suits for everyone.
Yeah.
So we are in good shape.
Although it was a bit of an issue, and it's something that we're going to get into in our topic today. But what else, before we get into that, what else did we get done?
So I'm working with somebody on, so all the bridesmaid dresses are like navy blue infinity dresses, and we've decided we need to Game of Thronesy them some more up.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Game of Thrones, is it Miss Ande? How do you say her name?
Miss Sandy.
Miss Andy?
Yeah.
I like to think of it as Miss Andry.
Well, you like to think
Miss
of everything
Andry.
as Miss Andrew.
This is my Miss Andry right now.
Yes. No, I mean, you really, like, you're stretching the definition of that word to the point where you don't even know what it means anymore.
You know what? It's our word. You can't use it. Make it what we want.
People who like to mispronounce words.
So she has the slave collar thing.
Yeah.
And so we're going to wrap the infinity dresses through the slave collar, and it'll look more
Cool.
Game of Thronesy. And they have dragon eggs instead of bouquets anyway. So
Nice.
it'll be great. I just confirmed today we have a stage manager for the wedding, which might seem crazy to think about in wedding terms, but there's going to be so much going on throughout this. We need someone to direct traffic.
Yeah.
Do we want to say who it is or not? Do we want to wait?
Let's ask him.
Yeah, we're going to ask first, but we have a stage manager.
Although I don't think it'll matter.
Probably not. We'll find out.
He's
probably
a good
before
friend.
the end of the night. He's great.
Yeah.
The big thing though, like we had to sit down and do is
Carl
like
says, OMG Chad. No, listen, man. Chad's talent now. Like, Chad's officially graduated from that I do shit backstage
Screw
kind
that
of
guy.
stuff, man. In fact, anybody who's in chat realm is probably the last people who will ever remember Chad as the guy who does backstage stuff as opposed to the guy who gets all of the limelight.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep. And I guess the big thing though was us like sitting down and like figuring out what are the actual things we have to do to make this wedding happen. So we walked through like our script draft. It's like, okay, do we need to buy this thing? Do we need like this music, this, that? Like just all the little nitty gritty details.
To do. Like we made our big, like, you know, now that we know what we want, what do we need to do to make it happen?
It's really scary still.
Yeah, but at least it's like, really what we did is we took 7 to 9 big complex problems and turned them into 20
47.
to 30, 47 very solvable problems. So we have more
Though
problems.
it's probably more realistically 96.
I think it's 99 problems. But a bitch ain't one. Huh?
Did
'Cause
you
I'm
just
getting
call me a
married.
bitch?
No. I
Okay.
mean, like Jay-Z did.
Gloria.
So,
We decided on the cake stuff. That was one of the things we just we figured out, which
And
I'm
we don't
very
want to talk
excited
about the other surprise part, right?
No, we don't. But we figured out the cake stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. Oh, wait. I think I just got a text from our stage manager.
Oh, really? Is he watching?
If you want to say I'm the stage manager, that's fine. Up to you guys. Watching live while watching baseball. There's a hint. Baseball, guys.
Yeah, there we go. All right, no. So Patrick Delahunty
yeah.
is going to help us out. It's really kind of fitting. Patrick, I don't think that we've known anybody for longer that has done kind of more behind the scenes stuff for us and with us than Patrick. So it really is like for him to be able to help out, especially at Dragon Con. I mean, this is the dude who knew the ins and outs of Dragon Con long before I know I did, probably close to when you first started going, because you were going a few years before I was.
Like 1, maybe 2.
But no, it is.
But we're really excited.
Honor, and I'll tell you what.
Literally, I called him pretty much before we started this, to be fair, and said, "Hey."
Yeah. No. So it's awesome to have Patrick involved. We were very excited.
So yeah, but we do have a question that we want to pose to you guys.
Yeah.
In the giant list of shit that we have to do for this wedding, is since it's at a convention and we have this space, which I think it's like 300 or 400 seats. We're gonna have to figure out the exact number on that. Mm-hmm. It might be like between that somewhere.
It's 4. I've always heard the capacity is 4.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll need to confirm it. But because we're not doing it in like a private venue, there's not a lot of room for like decorating things, which is kind of a plus to a certain degree. One less thing, but if we were to hypothetically decorate in our weird Game of Thrones Battlestar Galactica theme, let us know if you have any ideas for something that is quick. Like, this has got to be something we can do in 2 minutes.
Well, I mean, and
that would work, that we
also,
could clean up.
It's not necessarily that it's something that we could build quickly, but it needs to be something light. It needs to be something that we could keep in a hotel room and move down via an elevator.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of stuff. So if you have an idea, then go ahead and send it in, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Jurymore in the subject line, and we would love to hear your decor ideas. Mm-hmm. Any other updates?
The registry. Woo!
Oh shit, we need a registry.
I know. Do you have a good registry sound?
I have Ric Flair wooing.
Let's do that.
Woo!
We have 3 registry gifts. We got a wine aerator. How do you say that? The little...
an aerator.
Aerator. Your mom's going to correct me.
Yeah. No. I know it's an aerator.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
But we got that from William, and I loved his
he
wrote
a fun little note.
He said, "Hello, Jurymore. All the alcoholics I know have one of these, so it must be good. Could I be any more of an ass when giving you a gift? Probably not. Much love, Will." So thank you, Will.
Thank you very much.
And of course, because I talked up the corkatoo so much in the last episode, we got a corkatoo from Nathan. And...
Oh, wait, hold on. Woo! Go ahead.
And, which we've used twice in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
We got a pizza stone from Gregory.
Yeah, dude.
So...
a fucking pizza stone, which has been legit as fuck. Thank you so much.
Life changed.
No, it was fucking awesome. So a big woo to you, good sir, Gregory. If you would like to, I mean, I feel even weird saying this like it's an ad or anything, but like, if you would like to take a look at what we have on our registry and support us, then go ahead, bit.ly/Jurymore, bit.ly/JURYMORE. Ready to get into this week's topic?
Let's do it. I'm falling apart.
No, you're not. Oh, man.
The suits, man. There's fucking suits.
You got into a...
You destroyed me.
Yeah. Oh, shit. All right, real quick, before we get into this.
Okay, fine. Go.
Ancients writes, do you guys own a wine Poron yet?
Well.
man, we are fucking down with the Spanish wine bong in a big fucking way.
It's already on the registry.
If you ain't never seen a wine pouron in your life, then you need to get that shit in your life, because never has it been more fun or socially acceptable or worldly to binge drink than when you are fucking with a pouron. So go ahead and check that shit out. I think that we do have one on the registry.
We do. I put one on there.
Anyway, all right. Serious
I'm broken.
topic. You are not broken. You did panic during our suit situation, which in hindsight was a 15-minute problem.
It got rectified, but it was like still really incited so much panic for me. Because something in my mind where everything was, all the easy stuff where people are bitching about periwinkle or whatever.
Yeah.
We got past all that. We nipped that in the bud right away. Like, we rocked it. And then my world came crashing down, which means, fuck, I'm going to have to find a new bridesmaid dress color. Guess I've got to match up with this random ass shade of gray. Oh my God. That means I might have to worry about other colors of other things. And, oh, shit. It just starts.
Yeah.
The domino effect.
Which got us thinking about this topic, which is high anxiety. This has been a defining element of our relationship, and let's just kind of let's try to set the table like this.
Me being a whack job?
No. Just anxiety, okay. Because I am certainly a fairly anxious person. However, your internalization of anxiety is something that I think has been probably one of the, not a surprise, but one of the biggest kind of developments, unforeseen developments, like in just living with somebody and getting to know somebody better than I ever have anyone. But let's start here. What is anxiety to you?
Well, I guess in the short sense, like for me, I feel like a lot of things overlap and conflate, but like anxiety itself, all it really is you kind of get into this like stressful, panicky fear.
Okay.
So
how quickly does it come on?
Oh, that's hard to say. It's like I get stuck in my own head.
Okay.
So like the suit example.
Yeah.
The colors changed. My heart just kind of like drops. I'm like, oh fuck, here is this problem
that you thought you had solved.
That was solved. Oh my God, there's something else. And I just start panicking, like everything crumbles. And it's just a tiny thing. It doesn't even have to be, it's not a car wreck. It's not anything like that. It is this little thing, everything tumbles, and I freak out. Not in the case of the soup, but like sometimes like I just get terrified to where I freeze up and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And where even to the point to where like I'm difficult and I might start like I was rubbing up against you really bad because I lost my shit because we were walking to brunch. This was a great adventure as we were walking to brunch.
It was a thing where we haven't. It's something that like at a point a couple like a month and a half ago we were looking at our finances, being like, maybe we should cut back on brunch a little bit because like it always tends to be a very expensive meal because we like to go to a few nice places.
It's hipster brunch.
It's hipster brunch, and so we're like, let's calm down. And then I spent like a month and a half on the road. And so it was like, oh, fuck, let's go to one of our nice brunch spots and just have a really cool brunch again.
So we're kind of like on a high, like, we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, we're getting really excited. And then all of a sudden it
look at this sweet suit email.
But here, let's go back. When's the first time that you can remember, and you don't have to have like a specific instance, but just in general, how old were you when you realized that what you now identify as your own anxiety kind of became something that you knew as like a quantifiable element of your life?
That's really hard because, like I said, there are a lot of things that overlap. So like stress will overlap with anxiety and it's all like a Venn diagram. And then maybe if you're a little depressed, that can overlap those things. It's hard for me to really point at it like as early as anything like high school or before that.
Yeah.
But more like being out on my own and everything. So whether that's maybe when I very briefly lived in North Carolina after I got out of high school, so maybe there. The most defining element, though I didn't realize it was really anxiety related at the time, is when I had my first panic attack.
When was that?
I don't remember if I was alone working in this bubble tea restaurant that I worked at.
Yeah.
Or bubble tea place, or if it was when I was hanging out with a bunch of godless heathens on the East Coast in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But I got really stressed out and completely broke down.
Now, is that
and curled up in a corner.
So crying, like, is it just is it paralyzing?
Well, the panic attacks are really bad.
Yeah.
Because it's just like crying, hyperventilating, and like curling up in a corner. Now, to be fair, I haven't had a panic attack in years. So, that's not something that I think that's not impacting us.
I mean, I think
it plays into the anxiety.
Sure. And I think part of it is not necessarily that it is like a heart attack.
Feels like you're having one.
Well, no. And that's why, like, the panic attacks are a different thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what is almost more insidious is your own anxiety, where you feel, and this is just in our conversations, I'm not saying it's for everybody, and I'm saying that it's medically this, but like you get into your own feedback loop where all of a sudden something that's a very simple issue, if you are already in a heightened state, becomes a major thing. Or something that otherwise, if you were in a good frame of mind, you could just kind of power through fairly easily, stacks up with something else that's kind of a minor thing, and now all of a sudden they're both stapled together and they're insurmountable.
Yeah, pretty much. And it does incite like panic within me. And logically looking at it, there's no particular reason for it, but I didn't even really, I think, realize that what I was dealing with was like in the concept that in the way that I deal with it today in our relationship. I really didn't realize that I had anxiety issues until no more than a year before I moved out here. Like, it really started to hit me when I came out here, like, because I knew that I was really stressed out.
So before, we've talked about the long distance stuff before.
Oh yeah.
And certainly that was hard, but I always just chalked it up to the fact that long distance relationships be hard, that
was a roller coaster for me.
So that was something that you really felt anxious. I guess here would be my question. Do you feel like that brought it out of you, or did you experience it then, and now that we talk about it a lot and we make it a focus to deal with it in the same way that we make it a focus to deal with my own shortcomings, do you now trace it back and say, like, oh, that thing that I did in my previous relationship or during this other time in my life, that was me spiraling and being anxious as well?
I totally look at that. I totally do. And, it's... There are a lot of things from previous relationships that I can look back at now and realize that the way I reacted was not necessarily smart or logical. It was me getting in my own head. And there's a lot of it, and it makes me feel like a freaking crazy person, which is why, in part, for a lot of my stress and anxiety, like, I would never go see the doctor for that. Nobody wants to be on crazy pills. No. So it's, it's really stress-inducing.
Do you feel like there was, like, a stigma that you couldn't talk about it, or didn't want to talk about it with people, or it was hard to explain?
Well, again, like, it really didn't firm up for me until the last 2-3 years that what I was dealing with was anxiety. Like, I just thought it was stress, and being a high-stress individual, I would find other ways to kind of self-medicate. And one of the ways was exercise. Like, exercise has done a lot for me. And
which, for everybody, that's together. The reason why you're a Healthy Addict on YouTube. And no,
it was a DDR thing.
Well, but isn't that the exercise part? Isn't that?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, sure, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what... I'm sorry, if you, I kind of connected those two dots. I didn't know that they weren't connected.
Yeah, but that's one way that I kind of self-medicate. Well, you know what, yeah, that's kind of true with the DDR. I was really, really stressed out about something going on in my life, and I fixated on that to actually an unhealthy degree. It's called healthy addict because I lost like 20 pounds in a month, which is not healthy. But yeah. But bottom line, I found ways to self-medicate with exercise, be that rock climbing, DDR, running.
You said that you found clarity in it after we started dating, and more specifically after you moved out here. What was the turning point?
Honestly, like the biggest thing is and it's weird, and it kind of bothers me that I feel like I didn't exactly figure it out myself, which makes me feel crazy in a way. But when I'm freaking out about something, you're not dismissive, but you're very like firm and cold. It feels like at the time, at least like telling me that I'm spiraling. Yeah. That I'm just, it's the domino effect. It's the one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And I just, I lose it. But in your kind of cold, firm, this is what you're doing. You're being you're not calling me a crazy person. I'm telling myself I'm a crazy person. Yeah. Kind of, I don't want to say that it helps me entirely reset, but I become more self-aware of what I'm doing. Yeah. So things that I do now that I was not able to do, like long distance, and you didn't know half of the shit that was going on in my head when we were dating long distance, but because of your bringing that up frequently, I can almost stop myself sometimes. Yeah. Not always. I still freak out over gray versus navy.
But I mean, again, that's a 15-minute thing, and like it was a 15-minute problem, and it was a little bit more dramatic than it needed to be, but like it still lasted about 15 minutes, and that's because I think I've tried to make it a priority that like, and for me, I had to learn that I can't be logical when this is happening. Because this isn't a logic issue. No. You can't. And if anything, that like
it makes it worse. Yeah. It really does. So like if you guys know any anxious people in your lives, the worst thing you can do is tell them that the gray versus navy is not a big deal. Exactly. Like it is something that becomes it's a fixation. I mean, for me, and maybe I can't speak for everybody that has anxiety, but for me, it's a fixation issue where the one domino hits the next, and I'm just thinking, that somehow the gray versus blue thing winds up in our marriage crumbling before it even starts. Yeah. It's totally illogical. It's totally stupid. And that's you can't always stop it.
And for me, in dealing with it, that's why, like, now my go-to thing is just to say, you're spiraling, and then I can be, I can try to be more nurturing. But I feel like as a responsibility, I need to, like, if you're adrift at sea, I need to show you where the shore is. And I need to show you that you are far from the shore. And then I can help kind of pull you back in.
So when do you think that you, in dealing with me, because we've lived together a little over 2 years now, right? Mm-hmm. So when do you think you noticed that this was an issue? Or like...
It was after, because there was always, and this is the reason why I don't think I realized it much when we were long distance dating, is that there was always a very good reason why you should be kind of in a tailspin, Like we were long distance dating. You were getting out of a relationship. You had issues with the people that you were living with. Like, there was kind of like a thing, and then you moved out, big change.
Or like horrific birth control.
And then, oh God, yeah, there was one batch of bad birth control that was just like, imagine the anxiety plus a long distance relationship plus fucking a hormonal roller coaster. Like that was a real hilarious fun.
Yeah. Just say no.
So it was after you move out, you're looking for a job and you're panicked, you find a job, like it's a shitty job, you lose that job because they're dumb, and then you got another one. And it was really only after you had the first one for a little bit, and like there were kind of... By the
way, can I mention this really quick before you finish what you're saying? How is Dr. Bird for self-medication?
Dr. Bird was a self-medication. I mean, and listen.
Like before the first
By
gig
the
that
way,
I got in California.
Very excited that when she got panicked, we had a grief bird and not a grief baby. Fucking really excited about that.
It kind of worked for a little bit though, because it gave me something else to fixate on. Like it wasn't perfect.
Oh no! I mean, listen. Believe you,
not that getting animals is a way to self-medicate.
I don't think that we need to have more reasons why we are bird people, right? But it was once you had the first job for a little bit, and it was not quite the same situation that it was before, that I kind of realized, like, oh, no, wait. This isn't just kind of a coincidental series of crises. The crises were real, you know, and you should feel emotion for them, and they were hard, and they were worth getting over. But there was an element that's like, oh, no, there's something else here. And, you know, in the same way that believe you me, man, I got plenty of faults that you have been very patient with me on. Like, I felt I needed to be patient with you, and I needed to make it more of a priority for me to understand what you're going through and to be better about helping you with it and make it our problem and not just your problem.
I think that we've done really well at that. I think you've been doing really well. And now that I've really begun to understand what it is and how it works and how I am my own worst enemy sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I would like to think that I'm way saner and I handle these things like way better than I did, 5 years ago. And even to the point to where doing things that I never thought that I would do. Like very recently, I went to the doctor for the first time to, talk about it, which was terrifying. And I was terrified to even ask the doctor about anxiety medication.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge step for me. And in part because I was in fear that even just asking the doctor, I would, somehow they would put me on some blacklist for Xanax or something, and I wouldn't be able to get it anywhere then, and because they would think I was a druggie or something. I don't know. See, there's a spiral.
So is it you just like, you go from A to B and then B to X?
Basically.
That instead of going from B to C, you're just like, no, C leads to D, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, M, N, P, Q, R. I mean, and then there's X. So like, yes, of course I'm going from B to X. Like,
yeah,
they all link.
It's logical. But yeah, so, doing better, and it's still a work in progress. There are some days that are good, there's some days that are bad, but for the most part, everything's a million times better. And you've been an awesome fiancé.
Well, and just like, just so people understand, because there's been a lot of people here in the chat room that have been very sympathetic to this, and BioCow specifically was saying that his wife goes through a lot of the same stuff, and asked if the panic has led to depression at times.
Oh, totally. Like it's a I want to say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know if there's the words I'm looking for, but once you kind of get into a funk and you're into your head for so long, you're thinking about the worst case scenario. So you're just dwelling on all the bad stuff. And it's easy to get into that place. And again, it's like if Justin was not like my support network to a certain degree in this and like didn't understand where I was in my head, like we would not be getting married. I think that things would be way harder in our relationship, and even just with my other friendships that I have here, because I just dwell more. Yeah. There's not a lot of people I talk to about the anxiety issue, and I'm trying to be more open about it and not feel crazy about it. So here you go. Hi, guys. Hi, Internet.
Well, there we go. And I want everybody to understand that, and this is something that I found from doing internet stuff. Like, whenever you share private issues, you always find more and more people who think that they were alone dealing with it.
And that's why my video camera with YouTube was my best friend for a long time.
So you could just connect with other people.
And first it was like atheist stuff. Used to be super stressed about that. Started doing that. Anyway, I love you guys. You're the best.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, if you are dealing with stuff like that, send us an email, man. JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. That is JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. But JURYMORE in the subject line.
Whether you are the anxious one or the partner of an anxious one. Or maybe you're both anxious.
Or maybe. All right. Well, I'm having a hard time pulling up my email here, but we do have some feedback, and that was delivered to me not through email, not through a phone call, not through a facsimile transfer. No. It was word to mouth. I heard from a friend of ours who works at the Go Game, who listens to this very podcast by the name of Tamar. Tamar wrote in that...
Wrote in, by that you mean had a human conversation with you?
No, she literally wrote down an email that she said was embarrassingly long and she didn't send because she thought it was too long. And she just summarized it for me about our topic last week, which was prenuptial agreements.
Oh, not getting one.
She got married here in the state of California, I want to say 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Is both she and her husband from here?
Yes, I think she's from San Jose. I don't know where he's from, but I think he is. So, he did not want a prenup. She did want a prenup. He is a lawyer in California. She is not a lawyer in California. He made the point that a prenup, if we keep our finances separate, is not that much of an issue. The big key with a prenup, to hear her tell it by way of her husband, is that it is the divvying up of pooled assets that are not obviously one person's or the other's.
Like a house.
A house is a good example. If we start buying things not from our own bank accounts, but from a pooled bank account, it doesn't matter where the money that went into that bank account originated. If it was purchased from the joint bank account, then it's a pooled resource. Mm-hmm. And so a prenup is good to demarcate stuff that could be looked at as a pooled resource as your own before you start a marriage, right? Or if you want to do it before or during a marriage to say like, oh no, this is someone's, this is someone else's. That's the kind of stuff that a prenup is good for. But beyond that, if you are spending out of your own bank account and you are keeping records about it, then the idea that you could just take all my money from my bank account, like if we got divorced, is overblown.
But what if I was buying things through your Amazon account with my money?
I mean, that's just my account, right?
Okay.
Yeah. You're allowed to do that.
All right.
And you'd be able to keep it. Now, she did say that more to the point, what we should be worrying about and doing is a will. Because that's something that far more likely, would affect what we know as ours if we did get divorced and needed to list what our property was, because it's an official account of that. But also, in like the worst, if let's say I die, a court goes through all of my stuff unless I have a will.
Yeah.
And in that case, the will just basically is like, all right, they just stamp the will as all right, and then the stuff goes where it goes.
Yeah, I just came back from a planned giving conference, so don't worry. We'll work on your will. So is your mind changed at all on the prenup?
No. I mean, I think I was very glad to hear that. I think that there is another financial reason why it just makes sense for us to keep separate bank accounts.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was heartening to hear. But as far as a prenup goes, to be honest, I don't want to do a prenup just because I don't want to do something else that is emotionally taxing before the wedding. That's just the fucking last thing I want to do.
Yes.
Right.
Did we have any other emails?
No, my email's being... Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Got you. All right, here. Phil here. Talk about Time Jumper.
What about Time Jumper?
He emailed.
Oh, Time Jumper emailed? Mm-hmm. I love Time Jumper, guys. So, if you want to write in to the email, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Jurymore in the title.
Line.
So what do we got from Time Jumper?
Time Jumper writes, in the future, if I were to get married again, I would definitely do a prenup. After 13 years of marriage, I filed for divorce. The head partner at the law firm is a top lawyer in the state and has been doing this for 50 years. He stated that my divorce was one of the worst he's seen, and my ex-wife was one of the top 2 to 3 most vengeful women he's come across in his career. And 1.5 years after the divorce became final, I'm still having to deal with it. It could be argued that the chances that I would marry another woman like that is slim. It's made me very hesitant to not have most of it settled before getting married. That is from Time Jumper. Here's the thing about the prenup stuff.
Yeah.
Is like for everybody that's like, yeah, it's obvious. You can't get it. You can't get it. You can't get it. There are the war veterans who are out on the other side of a divorce that's like, oh my God, if I only had this one awkward conversation.
You see this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's and I know Time Jumper, and he's a wonderful, amazing person. And when I hear of stories like this, I just want to think that like I'm not talking about Time Jumper here. It's like either was the person who dealt with this shit really crazy, or do they just have bad taste in partners?
But I think
Time Jumper's got his shit together, so I'm sure it's
I think
not
that's really unfair, right? Because
it is unfair. You're right.
Because it's like there's a million different things that go wrong. There's a million, and not to say that Time Jumper's ex-wife isn't awful, because she doesn't write in this podcast. Time Jumper does. Which side your bread's butter on, homie. We got your back. But I think there's a lot of reasons why this kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people are vengeful, terrible people. Or like why they might be perfect human beings and then all of a sudden divorce happens and they want to tear shit up and light everything on fire.
Let's say I got really mad at you and I decided to get back at you by letting all the birds out.
You wouldn't do that because you love birds.
But how vengeful would you be? You'd salt the earth. You would live to destroy me.
Well, you would have just killed our 3 kids, basically.
Yeah. And how would you would handle that very reasonably? Or would you handle that by wanting to destroy all that I hold dear?
That's actually a really good point.
If you would like to email in, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com, JURYMORE in the subject line. You're starting a new show. Or maybe an old show with a new coat of paint.
Wasn't ready to talk about that yet.
Then we won't talk about it.
Yeah, the way to put me on the spot.
Just know it's coming soon.
But yeah, there are fun things happening in general.
Fun times.
Because what I need to do is add more onto my plate while planning a wedding. Planning 94% of a wedding.
New, it's just kind of remodeling.
Perhaps. Still figuring that out.
Okay. Anything else that you want to talk to people about?
Nope. We're done. See you guys. Healthy Addict pretty much everywhere. Spice Vegan, couple of places. Fake Gamer Girl on Twitch.
Yeah. Thursday streams.
Thursday streams. With my Viking lass.
With April.
April. The purple flash. I don't know. I was trying to think of something good and clever. I'm useless.
Awesome Possum. If you want to follow me, Justin R. Young, on literally everything. Until next time, my name is Justin Robert Young.
I'm Ashley Paramore.
Who?
Stop using our other tagline. It's a different podcast.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Neshcom mentions floor. I almost forgot about that. We need to bring back the floor.
What's the floor? Oh, I haven't laid on the floor in a while.
Soon.
Yeah. You're not married until you merge Hearthstone accounts. Never. I don't want to bring my failure upon my blushing bride.
Yeah, you want to talk about this is what causes really messy divorces. Oh, man. Yay. Well, guys, now you know I'm a crazy person. TLDR. Or crazier than you thought I was. Oh, man. It's like bedtime.
It is.
We're old people, guys. You don't even know.
I also gotta
I don't even know.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, thank you, BioCow. BioCow says that they haven't caught any Jurymores until now. But we seem like an awesome, healthy couple.
Well, that's good.
That's good. We have you all fooled. Ha ha ha. Oh, how many jars of salsa in the fridge? We're probably about down by half, right? We haven't been eating it as much because you've been on the road. A lot of salsa.
I mean, listen, you act like I'm the only one who eats salsa.
I mean, I eat a lot of salsa.
You eat a shit ton of salsa.
Yeah. BioCat, that's easy for you to say, but like I feel crazy. It's I know I'm not crazy, but as someone like who's super into like the science, reason, logic, bullshit and whatever, when I can catch myself doing something that I know is not logical or smart or not a big deal, it makes me feel like a crazy person because I can't necessarily always stop it. I wonder if Jury's mom will help me with my remind Jury about Santa's beard project. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Carl keeps fucking reminding me to buy Martin Sargent a fucking beard for the Christmas bit that we'll do.
Oh, okay.
In like 8 months.
Okay. The birds are quiet because they're asleep. We put them in bed at like 8 o'clock. Gonna shut it down.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Burr, 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 burr. Yes, Neshcom, we should. If you want to text me or Justin or email. I'm not sure what you guys were doing or how we were communicating with you, but yes, let's talk about it. Do we audibly monitor while broadcasting? I mean, monitor the chat and try and keep tabs on our audio levels. Hi, Jackie. We're shutting it down. Yes, Patrick will manage all the stages, or P. Diddy, as I call him. And yes, Neshcom, I owe you an email. I'm sorry. Sorry. This whole wedding thing, it destroys lives. The gift registry should be bit.ly/Jurymore. Oh, Carl's already on top of it. How about that? You gonna shut down the stream? Yeah. Love you guys. I'm going to roll out. We'll see you next week. Hopefully at some point. I guess it probably won't be on Monday because Justin's travel. Oh, you're home next Monday? Okay, so maybe it'll actually be next Monday. Maybe we'll be on what our